Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Feeling better. Getting my voice back. I don't have super long to stream today. I literally got like 54 minutes, but you know what? I was gonna work on stuff anyways, so might as well stream it. We're gonna be looking at. I don't think I put the Void Vault in the description. I don't think I need to really look at that right now. I think I got it working. It now saves your information. If I were to get like a tool rack, pop that down. Before any item you picked up, it tried to put it in your Void Vault. Like I had something screwed up. Now all that stuff is like working. So the Void Vault, I think, is good to go. I gave like a basic texture here. I may end up making that like black and white or something. I'm not sure, but you know, I will make it black and white. I kind of don't like the color a little bit. And towards the end of this stream, I will push out another alpha with the with all the fixes. Where are my images? Oh, those are items. This is dialogues. Spells. Here we go. Void Vault. I was like, I don't know where this is. You know, I think I could just do like a straight black and white. Yeah, you know what? We'll go with it. The colors are just too... I don't know. I don't like them. Oh. Fireball. See if I got to it in time. Man, I did not get a drink or anything for this stream. It was like last minute. Just stopped working. And just hopping right on because I know I don't have too much time. I was going to live stream later tonight, but it's 50-50. Like I'm either going to live stream or I'm going to do what I've been doing and hopping into Discord chat, just doing a screen share. That way when people come on, you know, like people could come on and actually talk to me. I'm getting some really good feedback. Dank Leaps and Gravity Cat. 2 thumbs up, man. That does look better. I enjoy that a little better. I'm not sure how I feel about this model. I'm gonna end up changing it. And Fritz coming in with the resub. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Man, I am slouching in my chair. Bernardo, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be supposed to come back in an hour. Thank you very much for that, Fritz. I appreciate it. How's everyone's day doing? Hope it's a good day for everyone. What am I working on here? I gotta start putting recipes in. I think is like that's the main goal right now. But I did have to make the resonators different now. There are 3 types of it. I kind of updated the model. I had the idea of like a scepter, kind of like not a wand, it's more of like a scepter rod, you know, kind of thing. It does have durability now because this is going to be a tool similar to like the saw, for instance, right? Like the saw, you have a handful of like blocks and items that you can like craft with it, so it could be used as like a crafting tool. And then the other thing that this will do is, of course, linking your systems together. Currently, there is no durability loss for doing the disconnect function or the viewing function, only through connections. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to use that tool to kind of dictate, like, yep, you're out of like the, you know, once you get copper, you can get out of like the primitive age, right? And then you can hop into this, right? And then the next, right, for the blue up here, to make some of your basic components, like it's not going to be a tool that you got to use for like everything, right? But for your basic components, which would kind of like lock you into, you know, being able to do tier 2, this is going to be iron. And then, of course, the purple tier 3 is going to be steel. So I'm starting to tie this in more, like, not as loosely to like the progression of the game. And I know there are people that can speed run this stuff and get to steel relatively quick. I'm not really making a mod for them. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be two sides. You not only would need like the new resonator to craft the items, right? But you're also going to have the mana pool to complete some of the stuff. So dual fold. You must send it now. You must get out of here. I'll end it when I want, Bernardo. I think the last thing I added was the magic chalk. Oh, geez. I'm gonna give this a try. Hold on. No. Because you can do something. Hold H, right? No! There you go. You can hover over, hit H, and it opens it up. That was nice to figure out. So again, like the Arcane Chalk, Primal Arcanus, Parchment, Stick. I may actually want to change this a little bit. Like the stick doesn't necessarily make sense to me. One moment. I think this is a work call. Be right back. Boom. Now I'm probably officially done with work. All right. So this recipe, you know what? I don't like the fact that I have a stick in there. I don't like it. This is what I think I need to do. I need to start integrating, because I actually have the scepters made now. I need to... Wow, I put in magic and it like brought up all my stuff. That's cool. Probably because it's rust-bound magic, I assume. Oh no! It's not gonna get... No, that's not gonna happen again. I'm sorry. Gonna have to fix it by tomorrow morning. Gonna have it fixed by tomorrow. Wait, what are you talking about? Don't stand by your words. No. Not gonna happen again. Alright. I don't know, man. I don't know, Bernardo. I don't know. I got something in my eye. This is like frustrating me. What is this day? This day has been super freaking annoying. Maybe if I just ignore this like hair in my eye, it'll all go away. Oh, you on your phone? Yeah. I gotta take calls, man. I work for a hospital. God damn it! What is in my eye? That's been like today. That's been today. So this is what I was saying. This is what I need to do. I'm gonna reassess some of these recipes, right? Because for this, I want to use the compound in this. I want to use the paper, the compound, and the Arcanus. Now, I could be talked into not using the Arcanus and just having it be the compound for whatever the tier is. The compound rolled in paper, and then it's good to go. Maybe a stick to like pack it down. You know what I mean? That's what the idea of the stick was at first. 2 different messages. First one's about you not leaving when I arrive, so don't stand by your words. Oh yeah, I got you. Second was you on the phone. All right. So it's all in the past. All right. Yeah. Work's been pretty busy. I was expecting a call, but honestly, I thought the person had gone home for the day, because I'm like, oh well, this is the time. But nope. Apparently, she called me from her cell phone. So, I guess he never really stopped working. The paper is fine for now. Hey, Dank. Yeah. Well, I was thinking paper and then just one of the compounds. It's kind of weird. Like, and I'll admit this, it's kind of weird that you're using Arcanus, which is like a gemstone-y, not a gemstone, but it's like a stone kind of material when I could use the compounds. You know what I mean? If I really wanted to, I could have it to where it uses the ash. So, and what I think I want to do is take the rustic compound here, and I want to push this item to like this point here, right? So, tool resonator also here, bam, rustic compound, right? And then rethink some of the recipes here, because like to make your primitive tools, you probably shouldn't have like the rustic compound. I could totally use like the fibers, right? We could have the whole... You have a gemstone, you have a stick or a bone, and then you're fusing them together, not with like a paste that you made from rotten stuff, right? But like you're strapping that shit together, right? You're roping it all together, right? But it requires a magical thing. What, to make this stuff? Oh, I fixed all those problems, by the way, Dank, so... like, it's ready. I just wanted to add a little more. The new alpha will be towards the end of the stream. I got maybe 30 more minutes of streaming before I have to go. And later tonight, I got some good sleep last night. I, like, passed right out. Chalk needs basic thing. A magic chalk needs a basic thing. Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking, actually having it be some of the ash. Now, obviously, the other chalk here, it's going to be, like light ash, right? something that feels magic-y, that isn't strapped to like Arcanus. I want to diversify things, right? So I don't think Arcanus is the right thing to use for everything as a default. You know, I gotta spread it out just a little bit and start using this stuff where it makes more sense. And I think the biggest thing is like the rustic compound, it probably needs to be pushed back to right here, right? So let me actually just put this here. This should be the rustic compound. Because it's kind of, you know, I could use that as like the definitive, you are out of the Stone Age, right? You're out of the Stone Age. When you make this guy, you're making your rustic compound, you're starting to burn it, you know, depending on where it is in Ash. Like it's like opening up a whole new branch of magic. So instead of this weird thing where I'm like, well, you can make it here and you use it for here, and then you get this, and then you could use this for another thing. It's like, I'll make it like tier 2 and tier 3. And this is basically like tier 0. I actually have it labeled as tier 0 in the mod. Right? But I think it would require you to do an obelisk to make an obelisk. Ooh. I see what you mean. That would not necessarily be true. Because to make this, oh, you know what? That would be. I see what you mean. I do. So ultimately, Dank, I do want to move the rustic compound up. Like this rustic compound, I do want to move it up to here. That way it's like tier 2 and tier 3, right? Like I want those kind of like familiar patterns, right? Like you feel like you're in the next phase of the mod, because now instead of rustic compounds, you know, you got like, you know, Aether Ash, right? You got the Glimmering compound, you got the Primal Arcanus, right? The couple staples from like the mod as you know it. You're starting to get upgraded forms of this stuff, right? And you're able to branch out and do a little more with it, right? You're starting to get into like, oh, you know, in here, like you kind, you know what I mean? Like chalk out of blood chalk. 1 HP per rune. How do you like that cost? When it rains, it disappears. So yeah, I think this is, like you said the other night, right? It's onto something. So I propose this here. Rustic compound. I really wish my eye wasn't bothering me. It's so annoying. Is this what I made the, let me see what it currently is. Rustic compound. I'll be a son of a bitch. That is what it is. I'll be. Alright, so we'll, grab all of that. Bum, bum. I believe it was this. I don't trust myself. Wait. I could just hit H. Yep, that is correct. Okay. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that is pretty darn good. Let's go to back. I don't know, Dank. What do you think? What do you think? Is this something that's like needed? You know, like like, is it a big deal? Like, would it make more sense? Because like now's the time to set the stuff up before too many people get used to it. You know what I mean? H is your best friend. It really is. I've been using it so much more now. I can't believe I didn't know about it. You know, I'm like, oh god. Because it's like I'm just thinking, right? Like, that new tier. But technically, I could sell this whole thing as tier 1. Seems to be fine to me. Okay. Or maybe, okay, maybe I won't move it then. I won't move it. I mean, if it seems fine, then it seems fine. I think I'm at that point now where it's like I'm just want to make sure before releasing this, because it's always a regret. I feel like I release everything too early before things are solidified, and then someone comes along and they're like, hey, you know, you should have done this, and it's like, oh my god, that would have been so much better. And then I'll go to make the change and people just like blow their shit sometimes, you know. It's like, it was perfect before. It's like, but it's better now, you know. Yeah, throw in a poll. I guess that would be a good idea. Although I'm gonna have to like describe this simple move, right? Because there's context with it, you know. It's like, white is primitive. You make this caveman style. You know what? Either way, this is what I could do. Rustic compound. You could make it here, and maybe the only thing you can make with it is the chalk right off the bat, right? Like, that's in primitive world, that's what you make. I can change the recipe for all the staves. Yeah, I could change the recipe for all the staves. That way you're not really using it for anything other than chalk until you get to the obelisk and past, right? Now it's like, I made an obelisk. I can link it. Now I could take that rustic compound. You know what? I'm liking this idea more now. I'm getting on board with this. So let's change some recipes. Basic staff. Really, it could be like Arcanus, shifting fibers, and the stick, right? Like, let's make it easy. Well, this is what it is. For the basic wand, it was a rustic compound, right? Arcanus, a rustic compound, and a stick. If I just make it the string, then you get these wands even faster, right? Because you make the Arcanus here, you strap that shit to a stick, right? You tape that on with the shifting fibers. And you can get this a little easier. You don't have to worry about, like, the rot dance and everything as much, right? You're still primitive, so 4 rot, plus, you know, what, 2, 3, maybe 4 harvests of, like, Rift Bloom, and then bam, right? You got most of your ingredients minus the paper. Hey, Lieutenant! Oh, Lunatic. Oh my god, why do I say... You know I say Lieutenant? It's because your name is so familiar with, like, the Pokemon Go, right? Like, Lieutenant. And I've seen that screen so often. Hey, Lunatic. Yeah, man, 3 a.m. Oof. But I saw you were live, so I wanted to stop by and say hi. Hello. Hello. Yeah, the rot meta requires a bunch of setup. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, getting 4 rot, because really, with the new durability, you don't need much else, right? It's basically going to be 4 rot, and honestly, I can, you know, you can accumulate rot pretty quick with berries, right? Like, the 4, it's not a big deal. Honestly, I would be okay with, like, if that is too much of a sell, 2 rot. You know, I can make it like 2 rot per rustic compound. Maybe that would be the better idea, because what I want to do is have rustic compound be a major component in making the glimmering compound, right? The next up. And then a bunch of the glimmering compound coming together plus something to make your seer's compound, right? And so going through the tiers, that way I can have a way for you to build up the primary resources, and then a way you could break them back down, right? That way, if you do happen to come across, like, a seer's compound, and you're like, well, I'm still a tier 1 mage, right? You get it from the loot pinata. You could break that down and possibly get, you know, what? Maybe 8 of the rustic compounds. And then from there, that could save you, you know, that could save you a bunch, right? Or your rustic compounds that you're making can kind of come together to become a valuable resource. Not as much, right? But you can still have some kind of leg to barter with a higher level mage. Yeah, but the problem with the rot, without adding it to a drop table, is that food is so hard to get out of the stage. Well, okay, I forgot about this too, Dank. I made a ritual to create rot. Did you know that? Because until we're talking about this, I didn't forget, but I was harping on the wrong thing. So you could take cattail and or papyrus, and you can do a ritual of destruction with it, and you can get rot directly from it. Same thing with the cattails and the papyrus. If you do a ritual of creation, it will transform the cattail or papyrus into flowers, into like a random flower. Right, but you were saying for primitive, well, it would be a reason for primitive people to at least use not like the big things, the big rituals, but I mean it's 8, right? To do this you need a torch, right? So that's pretty primitive. And then you just pretty much make an X, right? And then cattails. At first you'll probably want to prioritize making your hand basket, maybe a couple of the storage baskets. But you run out of cattails, you know, like things to use cattails for kind of quickly. But I feel literally zero need to get rot early on, more than just basic survival. So what are you saying? Like your problems with the rot? Like it would be better to have it drop from something instead of doing a ritual for it? Oh shit, did I put those rituals in? I'm not. Hold on, let's see if I put it in here. Wait, ritual of balance, destruction. No, I didn't put them in. I knew I was forgetting something. All right, I'm gonna have to put in the new rituals of creation here. And the new rituals of destruction. That's probably why people didn't know. I like the rot. Yeah, because, I mean, again, maybe thinking about things. When you're in primitive over here, maybe what you really focus on are not the bigger rituals yet, but you get a taste with these little guys, right? Maybe I should like swap it and say like the ritual of creation, destruction, and balance, right? Introduce you to them really early on while you're in that caveman thing, because I mean flint to obsidian's gonna be awesome. You know, like making the you know, I gotta check something, because Gravity Cat had mentioned a ritual to like burn things, you know, like cook clay things. I think I actually have that. Let's pull up a storage vessel, although I think part of me may have disabled it. So if you take a raw storage vessel, I just want to see if I have this in. Okay, that is not the case. Because he had mentioned, like, doing something like that, but the problem is, like, there's no easy way to, like, tell if something's clay formed. Aside from some berries or something, just get chalk and transmutation wand. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Chalk, transmutation wand, and then, like, cattails or papyrus. And then you can make rot on demand. It's not like it's the best conversion rate for it, but you shouldn't need that much rot until you've like made your first obelisk, right? And then you're going to start burning that compound into ash, and you'll start using it in more recipes. Early on, you're saying you can create the cattails, but that already requires you to have rot. No, you can't create cattails. You will use cattails in the creation and destruction rituals. So if I use it in a creation rituals, I can turn cattails into flowers, right? It gives you a random flower for so many cattails, but it's to help. That's also to help you start to, you have this pile of stuff. Like I end up like after the first year, I look at all the cattails I collected and I'm like, all right, they look cool, but I don't need them anymore. You know what I mean? So it's kind of recycling that, right? So I could maybe do a big harvest of those when all the flowers in my area start to die out, or maybe I'm decorating and I want to find a particular flower that I like, you know? So I could start doing the transmutation, right? And then I can, you know, find a rift and just convert those. Or I could take those cattails, put it through a destruction ritual, and I'll be able to get my, you know, like rot directly from it without having to wait. Yeah, you won't need much. Right now, you would need 4 rot to, like, with the change that I want to make to the magic chalk. So you would need 4 rot to, you know, to make your magic chalk. Right, your rustic compound. And then you would use one of these to make your magic chalk. That's what I'm trying to say. Right now it is 4. I was thinking, like, well, maybe 2, but I don't know. Like, if you can make this stuff on demand, then you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, 4 isn't that bad. That's less than I think that'll be maybe around the same as like a hand basket. Maybe in between a hand basket and like a storage basket's worth of cattails. Maybe. Definitely not more, not closer to the storage. It may be hand basket. But yeah. I'm gonna start making some changes because I'm liking what I'm saying here. And I got maybe 12 minutes. Maybe 12. And just because it is tradition per stream, I'm going to find a particular song. Oh, wait, it already played. Yeah, it already played. We'll listen to it again. Because apparently this plays once a stream. Alright, so cannot craft magic chalk. And pull up the other magic chalk. So Arcanus, no. Let's do rustic compound. All right, so a rustic compound, paper, and then I guess I could have the stick with it. I guess that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let me see how this feels. So something I did want to do. So I got to think this through because now I'm thinking of the problem is I'm trying to make all this crap fit. So to get your ether ash here, you will have to get your glimmering compound. The blue is like, you know, you're in tier 2. Let's just look at that for a moment. Think about how it's gonna flow. You write down things in Notepad or something if you don't have time. I usually do that anyways, but I would rather just, like, you should see my phone, my text document on my phone. It is outrageously big for this mod. I think I got 3 different text documents now that I started at various times for this rewrite. But for Glimmering Compound, the thought for the Glimmering Compound was you would have to use like the iron resonator, right? Like you should be in iron tools, or you know, at least access to iron in this with this stage of the game here, right? All the advanced stuff. And locking down the Glimmering Compound makes it to where, like, you have to have this tool. Okay, you're proven to be tier 2, you know? I would probably also have it to where Maybe Zeganite. You would have to use it to make your Zeganite, like your things here. Again, just as like another placeholder, probably your medium crystal and the primal arcanus would be like the main things, and the scroll, right? The spell scrolls are kind of it, but it's really going to be like those 5 things that you would need your resonator for, because those 5 things I would consider to be like the staple items for like everything else. You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, like the Spellweaver staff would take, you know, one of the parchment here. It would take some of the items. So there's no need to like use the tool again, right, to make this. The transmog stone, I think those may actually just be random drops. You know, like the arcane magic chalk, you would already be using, you know, like maybe the arcanus, I don't know what, right? You'll be using a magical item wrapped in paper, crushed down with a stick, right? Like, yeah. I don't even have anything there. But, and then of course duplication. You know, maybe like a magic station, you would have to use the rod, maybe. But I don't really see much else, you know, much use beyond that. So now thinking of it that way, but the main idea that I kind of drifted away from was the fact that I think I want you to use a copper rod to create your rustic compound, right? Because you should be in the Copper Age when you go for your first grimoires and you start opening up, you know, the advanced spells, right? So I literally want it to be, unless you got copper, you are considered caveman primitive, right? So that does go back to the whole idea of taking the rustic compound, moving it up to here again. Maybe having Arcanus be, since you don't have to use a rod or anything, you know, not a rod, but, you know, use the resonator to like make anything yet because you won't have it yet. Maybe the Arcanus is what you use the magic chalk for. It's definitely what you would use for your basic wand. And then I can use, since it's literally primitive, maybe a combination of like rusty dust and of course the shifting fibers. Because there's only a few of these early recipes, right? It's to give you a taste. Oh, dank too. I upped the damage of these as well. So 2.5 damage these rods now do. So we'll see how that balance is. But, you know, I wanted to, again, right? Like, I want the weapons to feel good, but I don't want you to, I want you to grow from them, right? Eventually, you won't want to use them unless you really have to. That's what she said. Rod still for that name. Nah, it's just called a resonator. Copper resonator. And you know why I didn't rename it? Because I couldn't find a good name. The rusty stick. Yeah. I didn't want to go through and hit the 20 places to like rename the item in the registry and everything. So I'm like, you know what? It's just gonna be called a resonator still. Till I get a good name. Oh, I changed this as well. Ignite and Kindle, the spell names have swapped, so now it's gonna be a Staff of Kindle. Or the Wand of Kindle. Bone Wand. Right there. And then, oh, I gotta do a little more of the localization there, which is fine. And then the tier 2 and 3 old Kindle is now called Ignite. Hey Vice, want to hear something really fucking funny? Yeah, lay it on me. I could use. I'd like to hear something really funny. Let's fix that localization. Grimoire. What was the localization key for it? Item Grimoire dash Kindle. So we can do item dash Grimoire. I think I got to go pretty far down to get to descriptions here. So I got Ignite. Oh, I never changed these. That should be Ignite 1. Oh, I never renamed this Kindle. Kindle. All right, so we got Ignite 1, Ignite 2. The scroll of Ignite 1 and Ignite 2. Here we go, description. This needs to be Kindle. What else we got? So we got Ignite 1, Ignite 2, Ignite 1, Ignite 2. Yep, that's good. Fireball. Boom. You remember how they said they're never doing different dimensions? Yep. Was it announced? Are they actually doing? Is there something in Discord? I don't see anything with the news. They're doing different dimensions, sort of. What do you mean, sort of? It's a limited sort of space. In what way are they doing those dimensions? Basically, it's larger on the inside. Do you got a source or something for it? Like what they're doing? I'd be curious, because I could start thinking about how the magic mod would be affected. Let's get rid of that, and that. Move that, move that. I only got maybe 7 more minutes if I'm pushing it. Only 7, so I'm gonna at least set it up here, so when I come back, I'll know what I'm doing. I haven't really made many changes yet, so I will also compile the next alpha, and we'll get that up. So this would be... Go. This would be like the start of the rustic compound. I'll put Catalyst 50 Essence. Or, you know, Catalyst I'll put in. Boom. Interesting. So these could be used for the boss arenas. Well, it depends on how they're doing it. So far, I'm just reading through lore discussion. Is it just speculation then? Or the devs the ones who said it? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering that too. Seems like it would be harder to do than just to generate a new world that's a separate dimension, right? Having it go into here, it's like, then what? You teleport to a... Like, isn't that a world in itself as it is? Yeah, until something's officially released, like Tyrone or one of the main guys are like, yeah, this is what we're working on next. I'm not going to take stock in it. I don't know. It would be interesting, but I don't know. They need to unshoestring their current release. Vice DMs, it's what I got. Let's take a look here. So it's just a picture. Picture with like a tower in it. With grass or something, rusty grass. I don't know. We will, you know, that does make me, I don't know. Maybe speculation is, you know what? Maybe that's their attempt at their first world gen. I don't know. It does look like rusty grass though, doesn't it? My rift blooms will fit in nicely there. All right, so let's do a quick test here, and then I'm gonna compile, and then we're gonna throw it to someone else because I got to pick up dinner tonight. Like, I got quite a few things to do. So I compiled, everything is good. We're going to start the game. I'm going to log into the world fresh just to make sure, like, all the textures are mapped right, you know. No errors are coming up. That's what makes me think it's something different. Well, it seemed like you were walking up to a tower, right? Like, the ground, it looked almost like a type of bedrock, but it wasn't. It was darker. It was more like soot. I mean, it could be their attempt, like a super flat world, and then just a tower, and then the Rust going crazy. Like you are in the Rust world. I mean, it would be great. Trust me, it would be great. I gotta go outside tomorrow, so I really should sleep now. You really should. You really should. You're not missing too much. This is what we're doing here. I'm gonna look over this. No issues captured during startup. Boom. Good to go. So again, we are going to come down to the mod ID. Mod ID, where is it? Mod info, this is going to be Alpha 8. Save, build, dinner. I don't even know what dinner is going to be, but we got to get something. I don't know what I feel like eating. I think that's part of the problem too. We're gonna cake build this bad boy. All right, hit space. It's been successfully compiled. What I like to do after doing that is I like to grab it. We're going to start the game. Mod manager, open folder. I'm going to paste the build in here, and then I'm going to start up that test world. Make sure that no errors come up. Posture check. I'm actually sitting up pretty straight. There we go. Hydrate, I cannot. I did not bring any drinks at all with me when I came to stream. And I didn't see any issues come up. Standing on this. You ain't got nothing on me. Yeah, I remember spawning a lot of these guys. Oh, that one's pissed at that one. Ha! Alright, so it's looking good. See you later. Fritz, what are you doing? I believe dives more into the rot. So far, Rust seems more of an energy than anything physical. Very well could be. Hydrate before you dehydrate. I ain't got no water. I'll hydrate probably before I leave. I'll probably do that. All right, now we're going to go over to here. Right in the old alpha. We're gonna attach it. I'll say should fix things. There we go. And then we'll pin it. I think the main goal tonight is going to be to kind of give the primitive into like tier 1 one more pass. I think I will use Arcanus for Magic Chalk. It seems right. Like 1 Arcanus paper and then the stick to like roll and like crush it up, right? And really, it doesn't even like need to be the stick. I just wanted something in there to like have you crush it. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. You can't take a block of Arcanus, wrap paper around it, and it becomes this thin chalk, right? And I don't want you to use like a real tool, right? Like, what are you going to use, a shovel or something? That would be funny if you had to use a shovel to like beat it to dust. You know, maybe I actually have to use a shovel. Kind of like that as a tool idea. But we'll see. All right, I'm pinning it right now. So there it is. There it is. You, for those supporters out there, you now have access to Alpha 8. And Alpha 8 does have the fix for... It's funny, too. I'll say this. how I was like bashing my head against doing the Void Vault, getting that inventory going. Literally the next day, like after staying up late, the next day I got up, right, did my work, and then lunchtime, less than, and I'm giving it 2 minutes to be generous. It felt like it was more than just less than 1 minute. I had found what the problem was, reading the code, made the adjustment. Oh, flawless. Flawlessly working. So, Void Item Destroyer 3000. Yeah. All right. So that's out there. Let's find someone to raid. Who else we got playing? Who else do we have playing? Twitch.tv. Vintage Story. It knows. It knows. We got 3 choices. I see a face on one of those 3. Autumn Year 2 Part 3. The name didn't really get me. TFC Veteran. I don't know what TFC is. TFC Veteran. Finally tries Vintage Story. I don't know about that. New B build. Let me click on this here because I can. Oh, is this guy leaving? Oh, he's AFK. You know what? We're gonna raid him. This is perfect. This dude is AFK, which means I don't have to stay around and chat. I don't have to feel bad for staying around and chat, like not chatting. Perfect. Void Egg Eating Machine. Hey, it ate a lot of dirt too. Thanks, have a good one. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Fritz, thank you for that resub. Actually, Borp Bop subbed when I was offline, so thank you very much, Borp Bop. Thank you. Later tonight, I will hop into Discord. I finally figured out, like, people have been coming in with like their intro music and stuff in Discord, and it's so loud in my ear. I figured out it was soundboards, and I just killed all that shit. I cut off all that sound, so it'll be better. It'll be better now. But yeah, I will. I'll take this to the Discord. I'll do a screen share like I seem to normally do now, and I can actually talk with people and get some ideas. But I do like the idea of moving the rustic compound. That way I can lock everything else behind, behind something, behind like a tier, right? So it's like that loose tier system I wanted. Soundboard, yeah, soundboard. There was a lot of sounds when I'm trying to talk with someone, especially like when they're entering the chat and it's like jamming out, and I was in the middle of an idea and it's like, oh, derailed. All right, everyone, see you later. Bye.